Well, good evening, everyone. We are so excited to be here together tonight. My name is Julie White from Pennsylvania, and it's warming up a little bit here, and we're excited because the Eagles won the football game over the weekend. And I know Kansas City won also, so a couple weeks is going to be a real exciting time when they get to meet together. But we're really excited that you're here tonight because we have something very special for you tonight. And we have one of our wonderful leaders whom we absolutely adore and appreciate, Mark Harris. I'm going to give you a little bit of his background and then he's going to share tonight. So it's going to be incredible. Mark Harris, he comes from a missionary ministry background, having served overseas for many years with Youth with a Mission, or YWAM, and they've been full-time Christian missionaries, he and his lovely wife, Krista. They were introduced to our amazing company, LifeVantage, in 2010 by Krista's mom, Jackie Shepard, who is a well-respected author, speaker, and Christian counselor, and now one of the top consultants for LifeVantage. LifeVantage has served as a funding source for ministry and tool of transformation for the Harrises, providing a robust financial engine for them to continue to do the work of the kingdom, particularly in the area of the performing and fine arts and the global pulpit of entertainment. Veterans of screen and stage acting and production, they are currently partnering with the Annie Moses Foundation to bring theatrical productions to life at the Packard Playhouse Theater and Man Alive Studios in Columbia, Tennessee, and providing artistic talent to various projects for the advancement of godly entertainment and art. Mark also continues to use his artistic skills in various domains, including graphic design, painting, and voice acting. They live in Greenwood, Missouri, and are proud to have their 3 children now serving and studying in full-time ministry missions settings. So with that, Mark, just going to turn the time over to you and thank you so much. It's just an honor and privilege to have you share with us tonight.
Thank you, Julie, and congratulations to your Eagles. It's going to be fun here in a couple weeks.
It is.
Looking forward to it. So yes, thank you, Julie, for the introduction. My name is Mark. I think Krista may be jumping on here momentarily. She is leading a discipleship group for young moms as well. So we're sharing the Zoom platform. I just kicked her off so I could get on here. So I think she'll be joining us here momentarily. It has been a pleasure and a privilege to be a part of what you're going to hear about tonight. My wife and I do come from a missionary background. We served many, many years overseas with Youth with a Mission, or YWAM. We've been in over 40 nations between the two of us. And really, we thought we would do that till our dying day, and we still kind of do. But in 2006, we were pregnant with our 3rd child. The housing market had just collapsed and our funding dried up. And so we came back to the States with our tail between our legs. And I realized I needed to go get a job. And so I wore an orange apron for 4 years, 4 months, and 4 days, in addition to a graphic design business that I had started overseas to supplement our missionary support. So you'll hear a little bit about that journey tonight here momentarily, but here's the disclaimer. If you're a guest, welcome. Totally happy to have you here. It's a privilege to be the one that's the messenger to bring what you're going to hear tonight. But there's no way. My wife and I have been privileged to do this for 14 years, as we said. There's no way to convey the magnitude of the breakthrough that we have the obligation to share. So we're going to hit the high points, why everybody's so excited right now that it's associated with our publicly traded company called LifeVantage. So just grab what you can. We could spend the next week talking about all of our products, all of the need for this opportunity in the world, and the tremendous blessing that it's meant for us as a funding source to continue to do the ministry that we love to do, as Julie just mentioned. I have a slide deck. I've pared it down from 120 slides to 52. So there's no way to go through all that slide deck tonight. So my objective is to get through in 45 minutes or less. 52 slides, 45 minutes, you do the math. But hopefully that'll keep us on track. So here we are, Mark and Krista Harris. We do live in Greenwood, Missouri. This is a family trip that Krista and I and our 3 kids took. Oh, have I shared my screen
We're
yet?
not seeing you, Mark.
Let me hit that again. Sorry about that. How about now?
There you go.
All righty. So the name of the company is LifeVantage. We think it's the next big thing, and a lot of people do as well. Let me get this out of my way so I can see. This was the family trip we took to Scotland. Krista and I just finished a master's program through the University of the Nations in spiritual formation and discipleship. We realize a lot of what we do here in LifeVantage is that it's not just about health and wellness on the inside, it's also about spiritual wellness for a lot of folks around us and ourselves and our family. And so this was part of that master's program. We brought all of our kids with us and spent some time in Scotland a couple years ago to do that. That's Ariana there in the front. That cheeky monkey is finishing a degree program, University of the Nations in Kona, Hawaii. She is fantastic and very talented. Hudson is the one over her head. He's currently also in a degree program. He's studying music through the Conservatory of Annie Moses in Nashville, Tennessee, where we do a lot of our performing arts work. And that cheeky monkey back there, the big kid with the hat on backwards, is Hunter. He's now attending a discipleship training school with Youth with a Mission in Lausanne, Switzerland. And this is his second week. So say a prayer for him. There'll be 3 months in lecture phase and then on outreach for 2 months. And all three of those kids are really talented, high character. We love them all, and we're super proud to be their parents. But that is the point. When we heard about this information, oh goodness, 14 years ago, 2010, 15 years ago now, we were career missionaries. We don't come from a business background. Despite the fact that you'll hear some scientific and medical information tonight, I'm neither a clinician, a researcher, a practitioner, none of those things. We loved ministry and missions. And so this is sort of a snapshot of a long tenure on the mission field. That top photo there was a medical outreach that we co-led with Krista's dad, Glenn, in Nepal. We've been all over the world. We spent some time in Hawaii leading training program for Youth with a Mission and the University of the Nations there. Bilingual schools. We've done work in Thailand and Central America. That picture there on the bottom of us getting on a plane was me with hair. That's why that's in there as a much younger young man. So we still ascribe to that philosophy. But here's my proverbial question for you. If you knew a proven way to create a lifestyle for the people that you love the most in which you could fully participate, would you? These little monkeys are the primary, the first order responsibility that we have. We realize that I was I was not being well, I might have been a faithful dad. I wasn't getting a whole lot of time with my kids. And during that 4-year tenure in my orange apron at Home Depot as a kitchen designer, I realized this is what most people do. Most people spend 40, 50, 60 hours a week in an environment like this for 40, 50, 60 years of their life, only to discover at some golden payday, they can't afford to live on 40 to 50 to 60% of what they were making when they were working. And the reality hit me of the American dream, or rather the ignominious fate of the American dream. And I was watching my coworkers having to pick up 2 and 3 other jobs just to make ends meet. Single moms, single dads, pensioners that didn't quite have enough left in the tank when their retirement years came. And so they were either a greeter at Home Depot, or these were guys that had been master plumbers, master electricians, working the aisles for $15 an hour when they had been, making $120 an hour in the trades. And so it was because my mother-in-law, who's, as Julie mentioned, she's a highly credible, and incredibly smart mother-in-law. I'm doubly blessed having met this family and married her daughter. But she's pretty unique. I call her my Christian witch doctor mother-in-law. She is highly educated in health and wellness, and she's the one that brought this information to us 14 years ago. And I realized that we had been praying some desperate prayers, and I realized progressively through a series of epiphanies that if we did this well, we might actually be able to create a lifestyle that would increase our opportunities for ministry on an order of magnitude, but it would also increase the footprint, increase the real estate with the ability to spend times with our kids and do the things that we loved, including performing arts. So that's my niece and our 3 kids on the Grand Ole Opry stage. We performed there in Nashville and have done really cool, fun, awesome performing arts things all around the world. I learned to ski as a 50-year-old with my kids. We've been on the boats. all around the world with some of the executive consultants in LifeVantage. You've already seen the European trip that we took a couple years ago. We also love to do service trips, service initiatives with our children, and have really worked hard to spend the time to inculcate a value for serving others with our children, and that's paid off in spades. And there's Notre Dame before it burned. So all that to say, and that's sailing around the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa, my wife and I, a couple years ago. Those are the kind of opportunities that would not be available to us had we not heard about this information. And so thank you, Mom Jackie. If you're watching live, you're watching the recording, our lives have forever been changed because you had the temerity and courage to just reach out and say, hey, this may not be for you, but you sure could use this. And I'm going to do it as well. And if you want to join me, we can do this together. That is on a boat in Istanbul, Turkey. And those are the kind of life experiences that LifeVantage has afforded to us. These are some of the gifts that LifeVantage gives to their consultants as part of the My Life Venture program. Our little 2013 Jeep Wrangler is just like that one there in the middle, the little silver one. And that was just a gift that the company decided to give their executive consultants, and we can talk about that at a later date. But the reason a lot of you are here, I know, our company has just launched a brand new breakthrough product called Mind Body. For those of you that have ever struggled to lose weight, and there's a lot of us, and sometimes it's not through a lack of discipline or even working out. Sometimes your genetics are just stacked against you. We have been seeing an initial clinical trial being developed by LifeVantage. There was a beta test group of 55 consultants that were privileged to go through the initial phase with the MindBody GLP-1 natural activator that our company has just produced. I want to show you some of these slides because I know that's why some of our guests are here, and then we're going to talk about what that means. This is our friend Shauna Mucklow. She's wonderful. She's very successful in LifeVantage as an executive consultant. This is her before and afters. I think this was a 90-day period. And we're going to talk about science in just a second, but just take us a moment and look at the transformation that you're seeing. This is Kim Kobensky, another executive consultant in LifeVantage. Wonderful gal, just dramatic physiological changes. This is Marcy Nettles, another dear friend. She was a former law enforcement officer, had a debilitating career-ending accident, really jacked up physiology. And boy, the Lord has just transformed her physique through these products as well. So the cool thing is there's loads of science behind this new launch and behind what our company does. It is an all-natural GLP-1 activator. Perhaps you've heard about GLP-1. Maybe you know someone, or perhaps you yourself are taking a synthetic form of the naturally occurring hormone GLP-1. And there's lots of pharmaceutical names that we could throw out. I'm sure you're familiar with all of them. This is not that. The FDA has two domains. One is drugs, and the other is foods. And so we're not talking about the drug side. Those are synthetic. By definition, those are all toxic to some degree. That's why there's a whole domain of pharmaceuticals that govern the administration of those prescriptions. We are in the other FDA category. We are in the food category. So you can think of it as salad. These are all plant-based ingredients. They're all natural. They are designed synergistically to activate your body's original hormones that it already produces, but becomes compromised either through genetic dysfunction or through deterioration because of aging. So the cool thing about our mind-body system, our GLP-1 system, is it's not just a weight loss solution. This is activating a whole hormone system that God hardwired us with to affect your brain, your gut, and your immune system. So what we're seeing is the only side effect with this system is losing weight. The primary benefit is activating your body to optimal levels of health and wellness. And so it's a little bit of a paradigm shift because, yes, we are seeing massive shifts in people's weight. We're seeing massive shifts in people losing inches and becoming more viscerally sound. But also, we're seeing massive shifts and cardiovascular systems and brain function and neurotransmitter function, et cetera. So the primary benefit for the mind-body system that we're seeing is it is changing everyone's our relationship with food. Um, the neurological associations with when you eat, the sort of craving-based weight gain that we see a lot. So far less impulses and way more balance. And your body just knows. If you give your body the tools to do what it needs to make the stuff, it just begins to make the stuff. We've just finished a clinical study that showed 140% increase in GLP-1 hormone on average across the board, a loss of 9 pounds in 8 weeks and up to 25 pounds in 12 weeks. 100%, and this is a big one for those that are familiar with the artificial or synthetic forms of GLP-1. 100% of those participants that took place in this particular program maintained their muscle mass. That is not the case usually. And one of the main side effects in the synthetic forms of GLP-1, the semaglutide agonists, is a significant amount of muscle loss. Point number 4, they're up to 27% reduction in visceral fat and 5% reduction in body fat. And yes, those patents are that we do have a patent pending on that. 82% of those that participated in this particular clinical took back their control of their relationship with food. 95% reduced sugar cravings. 96% chose smaller portions than what they were normally eating, which is directly correlated with caloric intake, obviously. 85% felt less hungry on overall. 90% ate less at meals, and 85% now eat for health instead of emotional cravings. Scientists will want to know what this stuff does. This was a really fun chart that I took a screenshot. Dr. Sveta Silverman, who is a pathological oncologist in Canada, one of our scientific advisory board members for LifeVantage. She showed this slide. These are the numbers of pathways that are activated when the mind-body system and our Protandim NRF2 product, which we'll talk about in just a moment, are activated. So we could spend a whole lot of time talking about each individual one of these pathways and the gene function of each. I just prefer to characterize it like this. If your refrigerator stops working and you can't figure out why, and you call the electrician, the first thing he's going to do is check the plug, right? If it's plugged in, it should be working. The next thing he's going to do is he's going to ask you where your breaker box is. And he's going to go to that electrical panel and he's going to look for a breaker that might have been tripped or thrown. In the old days, they were fuses that were blown. But in that panel, there's going to be a breaker that will show that it's not set. And so the first thing he'll try to do is to reset that breaker. Friends, I'm not a scientist. All I know is that, and I'm going to back this up, if you have a breaker box that every one of these pathways are compromised or blown or thrown, that's not good for your overall health. And we're not talking about just these pathways. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of genes that become compromised as we age. We have a system that allows your body to go back in and flip the switches that are necessary to regain optimal health. That is why this is such a groundbreaking opportunity, because nobody else has that capability. Everybody else is trying to put Band-Aids on solutions. Everybody else is trying to splash their house fire with Dixie cups worth of solutions. Your body already has a sprinkler system installed. All we need to do to deal with the problems is reactivate your body's ability to recognize and to mitigate those problems. So we are introducing this mind-body GLP-1 activator. Is the world's first all-natural GLP-1 activator. It's called the Mind-Body System by LifeVantage. And the cool thing is there are loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of videos that are being recorded by our scientific advisory board members, by doctors across the whole spectrum of physiology. I'm not any of those things. Here's the good news. You don't have to know all that stuff. All you have to know is that for that guy and for me and for you, we're seeing results. We feel better. We sleep better. And when you see the statistics that I'm about to show you, you'll understand that this is a massive opportunity right now or last year. 41.9% of US adults were obese. That's 142 million people just in this country alone. That number is staggeringly increased from the year 2000, when it was 30% of the US population. 9.2% of US adults are severely obese. 19.7% of US children are obese. That's 66 million kids. 11.6% of US adults are diabetic. That's 34 million people. 38% of US adults over 18 are pre-diabetic. That's 102 million people. 1 in 8 US adults either have, are, or will be prescribed a GLP prescription drug, which again is synthetic, which again will have certain side effects. If you allow people an alternative, and some of those people are getting that drug for free. I understand that. Some of those people are paying a couple $1,000 a month for that drug. I understand that. When you give people an option, when they start accruing the landslide, the cascade of physiological deficits that any synthetic formulation is going to accrue in your body, they're going to make a choice, right? And a lot of those drugs are going to plateau, as well as cause deterioration systemically in the body. This is a screenshot I grabbed earlier today. This is the science behind GLP-1 supplementation and activation, two different things. But you'll see the results last year were about 2,500 studies, the year 2024. Those studies have exploded now. There are 26,000 clinical studies looking at the benefits of GLP-1 in the human body. That's a tenfold increase in just 1 year. So the fact that we are taking advantage now of this exploding forefront of science is really indicative of why our stock is performing so well. We're a publicly traded company. We've just reduced a clinical result, these clinical results that I've just listed off to you. And this was a screenshot that I took on my phone last week. Our ticker symbol traded on the NASDAQ is LFVN. So I kind of want to talk to two sets of people tonight. One are the people that you've already seen. My goodness, whatever that is, I have to get that, because I've not had historically a good relationship with food. The other group of people that I want to address tonight are the people like me, the people that would do anything to put food on the table for your family. You're working 2 jobs. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You've reached a point in life that you realize what you're doing isn't working. And you've been praying, you've been looking, you've been hoping, and through some sort of providence, somebody invited you to this call tonight. I just want to point out, in 14 years of experience, our testimony, our validation, our encouragement for you would be that I have never seen in my life something that sounded so good. It almost sounded too good to be true initially, that surpassed those expectations. I'm going to stop my screen share for just a second, because I want to just talk to you for a second before I move on to the slides. There's lots of opportunities. Lots of people need cash in 2025. Inflation's at arguably an all-time high, double-digit inflation. And perhaps that's coming down, perhaps not. I'm 60 years old. As I look across the landscape of ways to increase the income and the potential of creating generational wealth for my family, the people that I love the most, I could drive DoorDash, and good on you if you do that. If you're getting in your car and you're driving food to people, picking it up, well done. If you're driving Uber or Lyft, well done. I find that most people are not afraid of hard work. They just don't know which ladder to put the wall on that they need to climb to reach the level of financial security to provide for the people they love the most. So I'm going to go back and ask the same question that I started with. If you knew of a tested, proven method to create a lifestyle for the people that you love the most, would you do it? There's two opportunities tonight. One is to take advantage of these awesome products, a couple $100 a month, to reset your breakers. I'm doing it. My wife's doing it. Everybody in our team is doing it and seeing great results. I was just in a film in December, and I had started my GLP-1. I was doing a scene where I was supposed to be running to the barn, and my pants were literally falling down off of my backside because I was losing weight on GLP-1. That's true. That's a true story. So there's that.
Where's the
Everybody,
video?
no video. Well, it's on camera. Who knows? It might make the final cut. Who knows? But having said that, I know that as many people that are desperate to lose weight and see a swing in their physiology and their physiological well-being, perhaps more people in 2025 are looking for solutions to financial pain. And those of us that get to be my age are looking for ways for leveraged income as well. And because of the way that LifeVantage has structured their compensation plan for us to tell this message, that is a real possibility. That's something that my wife and I and a lot of these leaders on this call have actually done. So I'm going to go back to my screen sharing. I want to get back to trying to wrap up the opportunity side of this before we open it up for questions here in just a moment. And if you want more pictures, they're everywhere on social media. Ask the person that invited you to this presentation. That's our CEO, Mr. Steve Fife, featured in a Newsweek article not long ago. We're receiving
an ABC primetime
let me stop this for just a second.
malfunction and
Hang on. We're receiving lots of public acclaim. We have been a secret for 15 years. That's changing. Like, we are getting lots of recognition and notice, but I want to share, I won't show you this whole video because we don't have time. It's 7:27 local time here, and I know those of you on the East Coast have got another call coming up in 30 minutes. So I want to just mention this. This is an ABC primetime investigative report that aired back in 2005. This was the way that I saw this new breakthrough in what we're calling nutrigenomics. A lot of people know it as epigenetics. LifeVantage is the company that pioneered this science. I'm going to give you just a 2-minute clip so you know it when you see it. If you haven't seen this video, you need to get with the person that invited you to watch the whole thing. This is John Quinones, ABC News investigative reporter.
Following is an ABC primetime investigative report that aired in 2005.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig. Okay. I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver. This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes.
Have you discovered the fountain of youth?
I wouldn't put it that way, but we may have discovered something that will tell us a lot more about how we age, what happens biochemically, and maybe
I'm not sure what happened.
Following is an ABC.
Sorry.
put it that way, but we may have discovered something that will tell us a lot more about how we age, what happens biochemically, and maybe how we can slow it down.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. Taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which if extrapolated back is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed. High ox following is an
So
AB.
I'm gonna cut it off there. That is a fascinating video. It's now 20 years old, and that stuff still works. That little blue bottle called Protandim NRF2 was our flagship product, remains our flagship product. It's by far our best selling flagship product. And if you think of that as sort of the master switch in your breaker box, there's a bunch of little switches, but if you go in your breaker box, there's a master up top that controls the whole amperage for the house. Those are your survival genes. That's what Protandim NRF2 does. If you don't hear anything from me tonight, every living human on the face of the earth that has reached skeletal maturity and then some, a lot of kids need this as well. I think this is by far the best product that's ever been introduced in the history of mankind. Why? Because it allows your body to do what it was designed to do and overcome the effects of the fall. If I could say it as clearly as that. It's amazing. If you want to know about Protandim NRF2, you can go to PubMed and look at the effects of oxidative stress. You can look at our 28 peer-reviewed studies that are published on Protandim NRF2. PubMed.gov is the National Institute of Health's online library, the national library, for basically the global repository for all medical research. So we enjoy a load of scientific validation. We probably had more scrutiny on this one product than any natural product in the history of mankind. I would feel confident in saying that. How does it work? Again, it's working in tandem with your body to address the things that your body is trying to do. And that's across the whole system. That's your heart, your cardiovascular, your muscular system, your endocrine system, your reproductive system, your everything, right? When your body issues, when it begins to sense that there's a problem and wants to respond, our products, these activation products, allow your body to respond in a healthy way. Again, these are the two options for biohacking that you can take advantage of in 2025. One are the pharmacogenomics. Those are the pharmaceutical industries. Billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars are being developed to help people do what our products are doing. It is the cutting edge of science, but you should know that no compound will ever be approved for sale as a pharmaceutical product without some level of toxicity. I'll say that again. No pharmaceutical product will ever be approved to be sold as a drug without some level of toxicity. That's how they differentiate between food and drugs. So people say, hey, Mark, I need to take this to my doctor to make sure he's okay with it. Listen, your doctor's not worried about food. Your doctor, the reason he sends his script to the pharmacist is because that's the pharmacist's job to make sure they don't kill you, because the stuff that they're prescribing can kill you by definition. Food's not going to do that. And so we're very confident in the efficacy and the safety of our products. We can't make any claims therapeutically or preventably. We just know that our stuff oftentimes works better than the drugs, right? And that third-party validation extends across PubMed.gov to all these institutions: Harvard, Colorado State, Washington State, Virginia Commonwealth, University of Colorado, Ohio State University. My Ohio State friends would say, hey, Mark, it's the Ohio State University. Congratulations to you guys. Louisiana State University, the American Aging Association, American Heart Association has done 2 studies on their own dime to prove the efficacy of our product. When does that happen? Like never, right? As much validation as we received, as much public acclaim as we received, this one always cracks me up. Watch this.
All right, so where do you get the energy? Seriously, I mean, look at you. Well, we've known each other a long time. We've passed. You don't ever get older.
Well, thank you. It's quite funny because, you know, people are kind of shocked when they hear that I'm 54 years old and they say, how do you keep your youth? I have found something, Dr. Phil, that I think is the closest thing to the fountain of youth.
Oh, you do have a secret.
I have a secret and I've never really talked about it. I've been doing this for the last 2 years. It's called Pro Tandem and it works. I'm telling everybody about this.
You feel differently.
I do.
Because you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're hitting the times, you're getting where you're supposed to be.
I have
You're
to
doing
be on the spot all the time.
What's funny about that is we've got loads and loads and loads of scientific validation from the institutions I just mentioned. People don't care about any of that. The minute that Donny Osmond goes on Dr. Phil and starts talking about our products, that's when people pay attention. The #1 searched term on the Google search engine the day that Donny Osmond appeared on Dr. Phil, Pro Tandem, was the #1 searched term on the internet, on the Google search engine that day. Fascinating to me. But we didn't stop there. We've developed other activation products in the Pro Tandem brand name. This is our NRF1 product designed to optimize mitochondrial form and function. It works synergistically with our Pro Tandem NRF2 product. For those of you that remember your 10th grade biology, NRF1, or sorry, mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell. They are essential for, gosh, everything from your skin to your heart and your brain. They are where you get all of your energy from. And the body, when it doesn't have enough of that mitochondrial energy, it starts to scavenge it from one system to another. So we've seen tremendous breakthrough with people taking our Pro Tandem NRF1 and NRF2 Synergizer. The third biochemical countermeasure that we developed was to activate your sirtuin function, which has a lot to do with cleansing of the cells, or autophagy, as it's known, and activating the NAD pathway. You might or might not have heard about NAD. It is a huge new domain in health and wellness. I don't have time to go into the scientific validation behind the 3 Pro Tandem Tri-Synergizers, but that's what they're called. They work synergistically. So if you take one, that's awesome. I would Pro Tandem NRF2, that little yellow pill is one, Lord willing, I will take every day for the rest of my life. It's that good. But the other 2 products are designed to work synergistically with Pro Tandem NRF2, and you see some of that synergy represented in this chart. Individual genes, again, think of them as circuit breakers or thermostats. Whereas one product, our NRF2 Synergizer by itself, might activate the NRF2 gene by 40%, taking the 3 products, the Tri-Synergizer, activates them by 73%. Something like heme oxygenase, HMOX1, which is vastly important for human health, upregulated by 50% with just NRF2, 838% with these 3 products. So if you can afford all 3, my goodness, do all 3. But I've got one more zinger for you. About 2 years ago, our company also introduced a liquid collagen product. Now, those of us that have been in LifeVantage enjoying these incredibly unique products for years and years and years, when I was told that we were getting a collagen product, I didn't want it. Why? Because we've never competed in a red ocean. We've always had our unique product space. I didn't have to compete with anybody or any retail shelves. So why would we go back into a market that's flooded with collagen products? Well, of course, collagen's important. It's the most important molecule in your body. It also has tremendous anti-aging properties. But if there's already thousands and thousands and thousands of collagen products on the market, why would we develop our own? Because, again, ours is different. It is an activation product, not a supplementation product. If you're trying to supplement your body's collagen by a macromolecule of the leftovers from food processing, most of those collagen powders are from all kind of body parts that you don't want to ingest necessarily, and they dump them in a tub, gallon tub, $25. You might as well just eat a cheeseburger, because those macromolecules are going to have to be digested and metabolized into down into their elementary parts, which are amino acids. Your body is just, you might as well just eat a cheeseburger. What makes ours different is we have 11 amino acids, peptides, sorry, that are encoded to allow your body to create its own, manufacture its own collagen where it's going to do the most good. So that's why ours is a completely fundamentally new approach to health and wellness. And now we're doing it with GLP-1. We're doing it with our Protandim Tri-Synergizer. We're also doing it with our liquid collagen, and the results are incredible. Again, loads of before and afters, and I'd rather show you these than go into the deep dive on the science. One, the science is like water running over the top of a bucket. I mean, it's just never ending. But validation comes a lot easier through documentation, through what you can actually see with your eyes. And these are real people. These are real friends. These are real LifeVantage consultants. That's Becky Taylor. That's Seth Mulder. I know them both. And I can tell you that the transformation is amazing. And this is not the GLP-1. And so when you start to combine and stack these products, the effects are just transformational. This is another study that was conducted that looks at the benefits of taking that Protandim NRF2 in the blue bottle, which is the foundational flagship product, and the liquid collagen. Just groundbreaking. So you might have started to gain an appreciation that we're doing something different here. We are encouraging people to move away from a supplementation mentality with loads and loads of supplemental products that your body may or may not be able to metabolize, may or may not be able to use them optimally. You might just end up flushing those down the toilet, and quite often you do. Compare that to a line of products that are designed to work with one another synergistically in a complementary way. So we've got skin products, we've got hair products. Boy, don't I wish I had them when I was in my 20s and 30s. We have a pet product. We've got omega products. We've got Rise and Reset, developed by the Linus Pauling Institute, that are microdosed minerals and essential ingredients to allow your body to function optimally in the morning versus night. We have a D3 product that's awesome. Never go without it. We have a physique line to help supplement what we're doing with mind body, and our amazing Axio product, which I'm drinking right now, which was designed as an energy drink replacement. However, it is also an incredible nutrigenomic that has L-theanine, quercetin, amazing stuff. We can talk about that another day. Get the Dr. Fannin video if you're interested in Axio and the effects on the brain. This is the global opportunity right now. We're open in loads of global markets. This is, I think this is a little obsolete. I see Singapore, Taiwan is on here. We're opening new markets all the time. We're exploding across Europe as well. Loads of new volume in Australia. We are capitalizing on the new advent in digital marketing and affiliate marketing. So we basically do this from our phones and our laptops now. We used to do loads and loads and loads of coffee shop meetings and kneecap to kneecap meetings in people's living rooms. I still encourage that. We still try to do as many as we can. But people that don't have the time, moms and dads that are working this as a side hustle, can do it on their phone, 10, 15 minutes a day. And they're seeing great results. They just share a shopping cart and allow the people that need these products to get them and just order them. Put your information in. Done. Just like Amazon. Done. We don't even touch the products. They come direct shipped from the distribution center. So no inventory, no payroll, no overhead, except for what I consume and put in my body. This was a great screenshot that I took when we rang the closing bell on the NASDAQ a few months back, nestled neatly there between Amazon and Netflix. I thought that was kind of cool. That doesn't happen with a lot of these home-based personal franchising opportunities. You can see, if you understand business at all, if you've ever taken one course in macroeconomics or ever heard of Peter Drucker, father of macroeconomics, you understand the idea of business is getting ahead and placing yourself in front of a growth curve. Hopefully, you haven't been sleeping, and I've done a good enough job to convince you tonight that that's exactly where we are. Critical mass will happen typically in our profession when 150,000 distributors per country are active and spreading the message of their product or service. We're at about 85,000 in the United States alone. We have not hit that number yet, but we know it's coming. When 80% of the total value of this company will realize. We've been waiting on this since we joined in 2010. We don't know when, but we know for sure that it is coming. A lot of these legacy companies, if you think about the companies that have been in the space, the Avons and the Amways and the Herbalifes and the Melaleucas, they've been around long enough. ACN have been around to where their company hit stabilization long ago. So the opportunity is not great. Great products, great companies. But if you're looking for maximizing your leverage over time and creating generational wealth, I propose that I submit that this may be the best one out there because of where you're finding yourself at the opportunity scale with the wave. I don't have to tell entrepreneurs who this man is. Robert Kiyosaki wrote several bestsellers on finance, on home-based businesses, on the value of creating cash flow, leveraged income. Most of us come to the table as an employee or a small business owner. And if you've never read Rich Dad, Poor Dad or the Business of the 21st Century, I encourage you to do that. What we're doing is you can spend the same amount of time working for yourself that you spend working to build other people's dreams. To have to ask permission to go to the bathroom and take 2 weeks of vacation off a year. You can actually build your own business. And what we found was with our LifeVantage opportunity, the average cost of doing business in the United States is about $82,000 to start your business, especially like a brick and mortar enterprise. The most you can spend to start up a LifeVantage business is $1,000. The average cost of overhead in doing business in the United States is about 52% of your total revenue. The average overhead in LifeVantage is only the amount of the product that you personally consume. So if you were making $1 million a month in your home base in your business, maybe a brick and mortar, your overhead on average would be what, about $520,000 a month. Well, in LifeVantage, it's not 52%. It's less than 1% for a lot of us. So I love this verse. We're ministry people. So if I was a fireman, I'd talk about hoses and fires. We're ministry people, so we talk about scripture. If you're not a faith person, we'll move on. This is free. It didn't cost you anything. Remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you power to create wealth. And I tell you, so many of us have a hard time dealing with the money equation. Money is not the root of all evil. It is the love of money that is the root of all evil. My goodness, it is a powerful tool. And if you're going to go change the world, you need lots and lots of it. And so that's one of the reasons why my wife and I are excited about doing this. It's like oxygen. Boy, it's not a big deal till you don't have it. We didn't have it 14 years ago. We have more of it now than we did, and we're working hard to make even more of it. Don't drink it. Stuff will kill you, but you got to have it if you want to put fuel in the engine. This is a comparative chart, and I'm wrapping up here. I got a couple more slides, and then I want to turn it back over to Julie. We'll stop the recording. Thank you guys so much for coming tonight. But this is the kind of leverage that I'm talking about. The average American, the coin-operated employee, will spend most of their lives trying to raise enough money for retirement, and they'll find an investment, something that's going to return an annual percentage rate, 4%, 5%. On a good day, that might be 6%. If you were to take 10% of your income that you were making when you were working, your working years, for some people, they'll work 40 years. Some people work 50 years. If you save 10% of that money, this chart represents the kind of amount that you could actually accrue through investments. 9.5 years. If you make $100,000 a year for 9.5 years and you save 10%, that's $127,000 in the bank. That will generate a monthly residual income of $600 bucks a month. That is what our third MC rank, master consultant ranks, or managing consultant ranks, makes in LifeVantage. We hit that in about 4 months. 4 months in, starting our own business, I was in the black. We were making $600 a month. Now, that may not be typical. There's my disclaimer. It depended a lot on the work and heavy lifting that my wife took on, because I was working 2 jobs. But it created enough traction that by the end of the first year, I was rolling up my orange apron saying, "See ya," to my Home Depot crew. We had replaced my Home Depot income. If you are a person who is or knows someone who's looking to replace their regular grind, their life-sucking coin-operated existence, may I propose that this might be something you would want to do with us, and we can help you do it because we've done it. If you are a coin-operated linear employee, you work 25.2 years, you save 10%, well done, good job. Of that six-figure salary, you're going to save $500,000 over time. That's going to generate about $3,000 a month. Passive income, leverage income. Well, our middle ranks in LifeVantage are doing that after, a reasonable amount of time as well. We did it in 2 years, less than 2 years, Krista and me. Let's extend this out for a lifetime. If you work really, you get a good job out of school, you've made good grades, you get 6 figures a year or more, you paid off your student loans, bless your heart, and you save 10% for 46 years, you can save $2.5 million at 6% APR. Compare that to our executive consultants that are making that much on a monthly basis. And that money just continues month after month after month after month because it's a pipeline. Like we've built the pipeline of helping people that need these products, that are going to stay on these products the rest of their lives. You can get royalties, as we have, from people like me that are going to be in these products the rest of my life. And 9 people, I think 9 people that shared this with somebody who shared it 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 with my mother-in-law, who shared it with me and Krista. They're all getting paid. And I love that. I'm glad they are. Thank you, whoever you are. There's another chart that represents the same sort of figures. I'll pass along because we're coming to the end of our time here. John D. Rockefeller, a bit of a jerk, but financially brilliant. I would rather earn 1% off 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts. And that's what we're talking about leveraged income. The kind of numbers get crazy really fast. These numbers are theoretical, but I want to draw your attention to the 9th level of our compensation plan. Our compensation plans pays a bunch of different ways. We don't have time to go through that all tonight. But I realized doing a presentation a few years ago that if I did this well, I could theoretically change the lives of not hundreds of people here, thousands of people, tens of thousands of people. I could potentially help change the lives of millions of people. Now, friends, I'm going to stop my share and we'll conclude my presentation there. I don't know about you. Money's important. No question, because of what you can do with money. It has given us choices to do the things that we feel passionate about, that we feel that God's called us to do. And it's given us time to raise our kids well, arguably. Jury's still out, I guess, but they're awesome so far. But if you had something in your hand that could not only transform the lifestyle of the people that you love the most, allowing you the things that you love the most. And there's, I want a boat. I don't want a boat because I want a boat. I want a boat because what it's going to do for my grandkids. I want to spend time with my grandkids. I want to ski. I don't want to ski because I want to ski. I want to ski because I want to spend time with my kids and my grandkids. Working at Home Depot was going to give me 2 weeks a year, maybe 4 weeks a year on a good day, on a good year, if I stayed there for 30 years. But all that aside, if you had the opportunity to help bless people, to help people solve their pain, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, socially, maybe spiritually, would you do it? We found an awesome business opportunity that we borrowed the money from my mother-in-law 14 years ago, which has paid us back so richly. We've increased our reach, we've increased our influence and ability to bless people on an order of magnitude than anything that we were doing overseas. And the people on this team, people on this call, are some of those people that we've created relationships that we'll take into eternity. So we do it because we love it. We do it because it's blessed us, it's blessed the people, but we also do it because there's people that tonight that are praying for something like this that are not on this call. So we know that the only way to get some of those people on these calls and in your living room and in the coffee shop is to pay you to do that. And so that's the appeal. If you wanted to help do this with us, we'll pay you to do it. LifeVantage will pay you. I'm not going to pay you to do it. LifeVantage will pay you handsomely to get out of your comfort zone and go, hey, you know that thing you were talking about? I might have a solution. Like if you don't want to hear about it, that's fine. But I think it might help you. And I've got a friend who's doing this thing, and I think I'm going to do it with him. Would you be open to have a conversation? That's it. That's all we do all day long. That's how we move the needle. That's what LifeVantage pays us for, because people like us are looking for something like this. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Julie. We'll stop the recording. We've got just a few minutes before I know there's another series of calls coming up at 8 o'clock. I want to recommend my buddy Robin Summer Smollett every Monday night, 8 o'clock Central Time. But with that, Julie, I'm going to kick it back to you and we'll close.